This type of window is called a casement window. A crank mechanism opens it at an angle. To build the window frame, the factory begins with 5-meter lengths of extruded PVC, a type of plastic. As clamps hold the PVC steady, a computer-guided circular saw cuts the sizes required for the frame. The same machine also cuts the pieces for the sash, the inner frame around the glass. Each frame is made from 4 pieces, whose ends are mitered at a 45-degree angle. Now workers load 8 pieces onto a computer-guided welding machine. 8 because it welds 2 frames at a time. First, a heating block, whose temperature is 230 degrees Celsius, melts the ends. Then the machine pushes them together. They fuse, forming the frame's 4 corners. Here's the same process viewed from above. As the melted ends bond under pressure, excess PVC oozes out at the joints, then hardens. The next machine will clean that up. A robot reads the profile of the specific frame style. Then it uses one of several cutting heads to shave the excess off the corners. From here, the sash and frame go to another area to receive hinges. Meanwhile, workers cut the glass to size. They start with a huge sheet measuring about 2 by 3 meters. It's very heavy, more than 90 kilograms. So they lay it on a specially designed table. A blower sends up air through tiny holes. This floats the glass just above the surface, making it easy to move around. They score the glass using a sharp carbide cutting wheel. This window will have what's called a thermopane, 2 panes of glass with argon gas in between for insulation. One of the panes has a transparent metallic coating to reflect the heat back into the house. They adhere a strip of silicone foam around the perimeter of the first pane, notching it for a good fit around the corners. The foam is covered in a thin, strong polyester film to prevent the gas from leaking through. The strip is a spacer, creating a 1.5 centimeter gap between the 2 panes. That's where the gas will go. They cut a hole at the top of the spacer and another at the bottom. You'll see why shortly. This window features decorative grid work called muntin bars. They're made of aluminum and go between the 2 panes. A worker lays the bars onto the first pane, then uses this guide to line them up perfectly straight. Then she puts the second pane on top. It sticks to the exposed adhesive edge of the spacer. Now the double pane glass goes through a press, whose rollers apply pressure to ensure a strong and thorough bond to the spacer. After the glass exits the press, workers pump in argon gas through that hole at the bottom of the spacer. The speed of the gas flow is critical. If they pump it in too fast, it'll mix with the air in between the panes, rather than push it through the hole at the top of the spacer. After plugging the holes, they coat the spacer in a polyurethane sealant. This makes the thermopane completely airtight. Now it's ready to go in the sash. A piece of PVC called the glazing stop holds it there. They snap it in place using a roller. A little PVC cement to seal off any minuscule gaps in the corners. Then the sash goes into the window frame. Their respective hinge parts simply snap together. The last step is to snap the frame's crank arm onto the sash.